coming into our Facebook Live. Today it's just me because my partner Lawrence is traveling. And so apologies. But I was thinking today, with Lawrence not here, I tell you how to get a book done. And with that, I want to say thanks for everybody for listening in. And as you guys know, we own a publishing company called the Book Blueprint Course. And it's been just an amazing journey. So let me kind of go through it for you, why you need to write a book. Because I know if you listen to this, that you have felt the ache, the pain in your chest, that there's a story which you need to tell, but you just don't know how to get it done. So stay with me for the next 20 minutes or so. I will show you how to conquer that fear and how you will become a published author in 8 weeks or less. In this brief session, I will guide you through it and I will share with you our 8 weeks course in the Book Blueprint course on how each of the modules fit together, which templates to use, what to consider, and how you will get a book done in 8 weeks or less. I know we are here on LinkedIn Live, but if you have a question or a comment, just please write on the comments below, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your question. So you're probably asking why you should write a book. And for me, it's really simple. If there's something you went through, if there's something you had to overcome, if there's something you do better than anybody else, you need to write a book. And for me, it's a simple format. And let's talk about Sarah. Sarah came to us a few weeks ago. She is a VP of a very well-known company. She's been with them for 15 years, but she felt invisible. Her insights, her experience, she felt like she was all trapped, not just in her job, also in her head. And she was terrified of writing because she convinced that she would never finish it. And what will people think of me doing this? And then as we had a call with her, by the way, I think her book was 3 books. So Sarah, if you're listening, I think you need to write 2 more. And for me, it was really clear that her book is going to be an amazing success. And she pushed it out on Amazon just a few days ago. So I'm really excited. And by the way, congratulations. And just a few weeks ago, we were on a call and she had a copy of the printed book. And she looked so confident because her confidence skyrocketed as she started speaking about what she wrote about. And that she has never dreamt of that she would actually get a book done. And the emotional payoff of all of this was she has freedom, credibility, and a sense of legacy. That's what a book is all about. Because for me, if you look at there's the hard truth out there. There's about 400 million books being sold every year. And authors which have published that consistently generate leads with 0 ad spend. That's the beauty of it. A book becomes a 24/7 sales tool for you. And you know what the coolest thing about all of that is? Even if you say, I can't write a book, hey, I have a repeatable system that you can do it. And that's exactly precisely what the Book Blueprint course is all about. And that's as simple as we can make it. So let me a few minutes. Let me talk through how this whole thing started. I worked for a company. I wrote 14 books with them, and I wanted to write a book on my own. And it took me almost 7 years. Maybe it was even longer than that. And on the weekends, my wife came out of the bedroom and I was sitting in the dining room. And she says, what the hell are you doing up at 4:30 in the morning? I was like, I'm editing. I know I get it done. And then I hired somebody to do this. And within a few keystrokes, he says, oh, no. You see on top of there, you have 1.25. Oh, it needs to be 1.45. I actually think it do 1.48. I said, you serious? That can be that easy. It was that easy. And that's the beauty of working with somebody, because we all need somebody who sees in us what we don't see in ourselves. And then also we need somebody who's the North Star for us. How many authors stall because they don't know what the story is all about and who they're writing it for? That's why let me go through module one. And there's 8 modules we have. We do one a week. And module one for us is exactly that. We have a step-by-step worksheet which asks you, to kind of fill it out. And it kind of asks you exactly what is the book's intent? What are some of the key takeaways you want your reader to have? What is your angle? Do you want to have it as a sales tool? The book is totally different. If you want to write about my story, the book is different. If I want to write about the process, the book will be different. If I want to teach somebody something, the book will be different. And that's what we define in module one. Also, in module one, we have developed this little process. We kind of go through it, and then because what you think you're writing the book about and what you actually will write your book about is two different things. Then we also found something we call the success loop. There's 4 points, and then we know people get stuck on 2 and 4, and we there to help because there's really 3 places people need help writing a book. Number one is for them to get started, and we have this process we developed now 6-7 years ago, and we're refining it every single time, where we're gonna help you get really clear on what your book will all about. What is the final intent of the book? Who is the final reader? What do you want them to experience? What do you want them to know about you? What do you want them to take away from that book? So if you do this, it's really easy. Then we do this by you need to write the book and what keeps you going, because motivation gets you started, but good motivation doesn't keep you going, because that's the second thing people need help with. That's around week 4 to 6, because they see that they're supposed to be further ahead than they need to be. So people kind of freak out. And then they have writer's block, whatever you want to call it. But we help you to get through it. And then the final thing, we call it the writer's mile. And that's ISPN numbers, distribution, upload. Hey, what are my keywords? All of the other stuff, which is so overwhelming. We helping you to get through this, and we help you if you self-publish, if you publish with a company, or if you want to run your own publishing company. So we do all of that on module 1. Module 2 is all about the story. And for me, and it's maybe a little bit we going into structure, but it's about the story. Why are you writing it? What do you want the reader to learn about you, about your process? And for me, we're doing this because it's easy to feel overwhelmed. And it starts with the blank pages on the book. We have a few tools and a few things we're doing with you where it's so much easier when you do it. Because as you have somebody who sees in you what you don't see in yourself, the panic melts away. And once you have the chapter roadmap done, it's really easy to fill in the info. And we teach our artists that you can speak the book. There's so many great tools, and we have a little technique we're going to show you how to get through it. And then we have a step-by-step module, which kind of gets you through it. And most students complete the full outline in the first 48 hours, and then it's easy to write about. And that's on module 2. Module 3 is all about writing and accountability. And because if you sit down with yourself, there's doubt which creeps in. Why me? Oh, what am I people gonna think? Why do I even write about this? It's paralyzing. But you need somebody who holds you to account, and somebody who comes because they have done it and they show you how to get through that. If we all go through it, listen, I went through that. I wrote one of my books is For the Love of Austria. It was my love letter to my home country. And as I wrote about it, I was like, why am I writing? There's so many other people which wrote about Austria. And, we sold 52,000 copies so far. It's something I've never thought about. Because the reason we designed our course the way we did is we know on 3 and 4, you will feel stuck with writing. So we have some tools to help you to get through it. And then you have a downloadable draft guide which holds you accountable. Then also you have your life group and you have our book authors, which can help you out. But you will never get stuck longer than 24 hours because the team will help you get going. So then 4 and 5 is around marketing. So we call it publishing and launch, but it's around sales and marketing. So we will help you to make sure you get the book packaged the way you want to package it. Because every font it kind of brings a different emotion up. What do you want the reader to feel when they're done with the book? That's what we do on 4 and 5. And we want you to have a book and we want you to have a font and the way you write it and the way you lay it out, which gives you pride in that momentum. Because inside module 4, you will find a checklist. You will find a manuscript. You design a cover. You will find all of the stuff in there, which helps you with a step-by-step process so you avoid any costly mistakes. Because that's one thing we learned. The average author which tries to do it on their own, it takes between 5 and 9 years. And they spend from $10,000 to $120,000, $150,000 to get it done. And you don't need to do that anymore. Then module 6 and 7 are about sales and marketing. Because you deserve an audience. And then the audience needs to be beyond your friends and family. You want readers who will connect with what you write about and which connect with you deeply. And that's what we want to do. We call it Sam because we want you to not just date Sam, we want you to fall in love with Sam. Because module 6 and 7 give you the swipe files you need. We have order launches. We have a launch team we create with you. We do a Facebook group with you. It's all about the formula you need to get your book generated and out to the marketplace on day 1. And then we have module 8. Module 8 is where we celebrate your book, where we launch your book. And where you have your launch team with you, which will cheer you on, which will buy copies from you, and will make sure that you get to become a bestseller. Because that's what a book is all about. And then for me, there's one thing I want to overlay. It's not about the finished book. It's about who you become writing the book. I'm a good example. My book taught me that I need to ask for help more often. Because as you ask for help, it helps you shorten your learning curve. You don't need to do it by yourself because we know it's really hard to get a book done by yourself. I'm proof of that. It took me 9 years. And now, we have 30 plus books later, which we wrote between our publishing company and my brand. I think we have 36 or 38 books out there. And for me, that's the greatest thing about it. And if you sign up with our course, first off, we want you to sign up and get to our 30-minute one-on-one coaching call because that will remove all roadblocks. And that's a call we put together, which we call a troubleshooting call. And in that call, we help you exactly how to get an outline done for your book. Also, when you sign up for our course, you have a lifetime access to our private Facebook community, where alumni share proof, they share screenshots, they give you support, and it's amazing what people have done. We have somebody who wrote a book on day 52, nothing done. We had somebody who had an idea of what he wanted to write about. Day 32, he had his first book out there. He wrote 4 books in 8 weeks. And when you sign up with us, we're actually doing a few things for you. We do your regular book. We do it in hardcover. We do it in a Kindle version. And we give you a study guide to with it. Because we know that when people fall in love with you, which I know they will want to know more about you. And doing that will help. And that's our simple course. And we have, so if you want to know a little more, we have 8 weeks private live calls with you where we kind of go through chapter titles, purpose, key points, reader's takeaway, word count estimates, all the stuff you need to know. And then also, it helps you when you watch those things and you have access to all of those tools, that it's easy and that it's a very clear roadmap to get it done. And then we have this group out there which says, oh, I am not a writer. You know what? We help you with audio or anything else to get it done. Because if you own a business, you need a book. If you own a restaurant, you need a book. If you're a CEO and you have your certain method, you need a book. If you're juggling family, work, and kids, and so many other things out there, you need a book. And then I hear people saying, hey, I don't have time because they are juggling work, family, everything else. That's why we have the tools we put together. So you, by writing an hour a day, 5 days a week, you will have 120, 150, 200 page book done in 8 weeks. By the way, we call it 8 weeks, but you have access to our course for a full year, and then you have lifetime access to everything else. So you could come to weekly calls and kind of listen in, because what we do is when we write the book with you, we update our course every single week. So you always get the latest and greatest. And we want you to write multiple books, not one book. And that's as simple as it is. We also hear, Christian, I'm not a writer. I'm good. I'm a personal example of that. Because when you hear the word author, you picture in your head Mr. Hemingway. That's not the way people consume books. Because people consume books, and we laugh about this all the time. One of our authors wrote about how to teach baseball to a group of 6th to 8th graders. And what we learned through this process, there's 100,000, 200,000 people out there which kind of want to learn about themselves and want to teach people to do that. If you want to just teach about, we have one of our authors wrote about type 2 diabetes cooking. And we said to her, now you have a responsibility to get your book out there, because you know what? By eating the way you do, by the way, the recipe was amazing. I will eat it even if I don't have type 2 diabetes. It was amazing. And if you eat that way, she said, oh my God, all the people which eat that way, they can extend the lifespan 5, 10 or more years. If this is you, you have a responsibility to write a book. Because if you can help somebody to live 10 years longer, you need to write a book, and you need to do it today. And if you feel you want to learn more, go sign up for a free 30-hour call with us, because we're going to go through it on what your book should be all about. And also, my team put together for the month of June, there's a limited time offer where we give you a $500 off on our course. So I encourage you to enroll today. It's called the bookblueprintcourse.com. Go there. If you have some additional questions, please write them on the comments below. And if you have written a book, let us know what your book is all about. How was it for you? Did you feel overwhelmed? How did you overcome those little things? Because also what we know, when you get through the book course, all of the things, be launching somebody's book this week. And the young lady, she's 76 years old. She said to us, I want to write a book. And actually, the book is out there. We can tell you it's called Asshole Management. And her book she's a licensed social worker. She's amazingly good in what she does. As we wrote the book, I read it. I was like, oh, she wrote about me. How dare she write about me? But her book is so engaging. Her book is so good. And it becomes a roadmap, not just how to detect this thing within you, where you also see it in other people. And it's amazing, amazingly good. But she came to us and she says, I'm not going to do a Facebook group. I don't want to do it. Today, she's talking about a podcast. She's amazingly good on camera. She's amazingly good in what she does. And we know when you get a book done, the person you are in the beginning of the book is not the person you are in the end. Because for me, I always use me as an example. Um, I wanted to do shortcuts. It doesn't work on a book. I wanted to the recipe be as good as it possibly can because I know there's gonna be people out there which gonna read it, and I want nobody to say that that recipe is crap. So that was for me the second thing. And finally, and that's the greatest thing about writing a book, as you write a book and you kind of define who the final reader is and what you want them to accomplish, you will on the side write 3 other books. I wrote 38, I think we have today. Peter, the guy we talked about, I think he has 9 currently for sale. He has 5 other ones on the bookshelf. And that's the greatest thing about it. It's not about the book, because it's who you becoming writing a book. And our goal internally is we would like to have 1 million people write a book in the next 10 years. And I hope that you are one of them. So please write on the comments below, what was a takeaway from you? What is your book all about? What would you write a book about? And then set up a 30-minute call, because we help you put together a full outline for you 100% for free. And with that, I want to say thanks for listening in today. And hopefully you will get your book done. If it's not with us, write it with somebody else, but you need to get your message out there. With that, I want to say thanks for being here today. Thanks for listening to me by myself here, because Lawrence is traveling. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, please write below. And I look forward to seeing your book on the shelf. Thanks, everybody.